Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. Today we are decoding the DNA of a literal cultural titan. We're talking about a man whose flamboyant fashion and completely unparalleled showmanship have dominated our world for an astonishing 6 decades. Yep, we're diving into the blueprint of Elton John. Okay, here's our roadmap for today. We're breaking this down into 5 parts. 1. The ultimate cultural icon. 2. From bluesology to superstardom. 3. Stage, screen, and sports. 4. Struggles, sobriety, and philanthropy. And finally, 5. An unmatched global legacy. Let's get right into it.
Section 1. The ultimate cultural icon. Understanding the massive scale of his success. You know, it is pretty wild to contrast a guy named Reginald Kenneth Dwight, born back in 1947, with the globally recognized knighted icon he meticulously engineered, Sir Elton Hercules John. It's an absolute masterclass in reinvention. It really shows us how someone can build a persona that becomes, well, larger than life itself. 300 million. Let that number sink in for a second. That staggering figure represents his worldwide record sales. It's a number so massive, it's honestly kind of hard to wrap our heads around, but it firmly cements him as one of the best-selling music artists in all of human history.
But here's the thing. His legacy isn't just commercial. It's defined by elite, critical acclaim across literally every medium. We're talking EGOT status here. He secured Grammy, Academy, Emmy, and Tony Awards. Throw in 2 Golden Globes, a Laurence Olivier Award, and the prestigious Kennedy Center honors. I mean, that is complete and total dominance of the entertainment industry.
Section 2. From bluesology to superstardom. The origins of a 32-album legacy.
So, how do you even build a career like that? Well, it definitely didn't happen overnight. It started with some serious, raw classical talent that actually earned him a Royal Academy of Music scholarship. By the 1960s, he was cutting his teeth in a blues band called Bluesology, grinding it out as a humble session musician, and, crucially, forging a historic songwriting partnership with lyricist Bernie Taupin. All of this laid the groundwork for his 1969 debut, Empty Sky.
And that foundational grind, it set the stage for an explosive, frankly unbelievable output. 32 studio albums, from legendary 70s records like Honky Chateau and Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, all the way to 2021's The Lockdown Sessions. Maintaining that kind of creative endurance over 6 decades is practically unheard of. And the chart dominance is just as staggering. 9 #1 singles in the UK, another 9 on the US Billboard Hot 100, and get this, 7 consecutive #1 albums in the US. This phenomenal run makes him the most successful solo artist in the entire history of the US Billboard charts. Plus, he was the very first solo artist to land UK top 10 singles across 6 different decades. Just incredible. Moving on to Section 3, stage, screen, and sports. Expanding the empire beyond the recording studio. His versatility is honestly astounding. Did you know in 1976 he became chairman of Watford Football Club? And he's actually still an honorary life president of the club today. But right alongside that, he was busy conquering Broadway and Hollywood, composing universally beloved scores for Disney's The Lion King, the musical Ida, and Billy Elliot the Musical. Naturally, a life this expansive, colorful, and intense eventually becomes its own piece of cinematic art. In 2019, his dramatic journey and that flamboyant persona we all know were perfectly captured for the silver screen in the highly successful biopic, Rocket Man. Section 4. Struggles, sobriety, and philanthropy. Turning personal battles into a global mission. Now, a career of this massive magnitude certainly came with profound challenges, including a really severe battle with addiction throughout the 70s and 80s. But 1990 was the ultimate turning point for him. He got clean and sober. And he immediately channeled that survival into global good, establishing the Elton John AIDS Foundation in 1992. At the same time, he found true stability in his personal life, culminating in a beautiful family and his marriage to David Furnish. And the result of that philanthropic focus? Completely monumental. Remember earlier when we talked about him selling 300 million records? Well, the Elton John AIDS Foundation has raised over £300 million since its inception. He literally turned his personal survival into this incredibly powerful engine for global good, fighting tirelessly since the late 1980s. Just a year after starting the foundation, he began hosting his famous Academy Awards party,
And today, it has grown into one of the biggest, highest-profile Oscars parties in Hollywood. He brilliantly took the glitz and glamour of his industry and weaponized it to raise critical charity funds.
Section 5. An unmatched global legacy. The records that will echo through history. Following the tragic passing of Diana, Princess of Wales, John rewrote his 1974 single to create a profoundly moving tribute. Candle in the Wind, 1997, stands today as the best-selling chart single of all time, period. His list of institutional honors reads like the ultimate achievement list for any citizen. A Knight Bachelor, a member of the Order of the Companions of Honor, inductions into both the Rock and Roll and Songwriters Halls of Fame, and a fellowship at the Ivors Academy. Honestly, it's absolutely no wonder Rolling Stone ranks him among the greatest artists to have ever lived. Talk about a victory lap. As a fitting, record-breaking conclusion to his live performance career, his final tour, Farewell Yellow Brick Road, became the highest-grossing tour ever at the time. It proved without a doubt that his audience was just as captivated at the very end of his touring career as they were at the very beginning.
When you step back and look at the sheer volume of his impact across music, theater, film, sports, and philanthropy, it's just staggering. Considering the highly fractured nature of modern media today, you really have to wonder, will we ever see another solo artist conquer 6 consecutive decades of culture the way Sir Elton John has? It's definitely something to think about. Thank you so much for joining me today to explore the amazing structural blueprint of this true cultural icon.